We've been watching this forever. And so for me, listen, it's the answer's out there. In my opinion, the answer's out there. You have no choice. Because at this point, you're not building the concern around going out and getting a guy like Conor Williams was what? Well, he's not going to be able to play until week 1, and you're going to have you're not going to have a chemistry with Caleb Williams built up by week 1. And so, do you really want to go out and get that guy and have him kind of try and come in and figure it out? Yes. Because you know what doesn't have a chemistry? The guy who's been playing starting center for most of the time in pads, who's been out there, he didn't play starting center today. Ryan Bates played starting center today. Oh, by the way, Ryan Bates isn't a starting center. You're trying to make him one. But he don't need to practice there. He doesn't need all the reps he can get. Go get Conor Williams. The answer's there. The answer is, if I have to pick one or the other, go get Conor Williams. I wanted the opposite defensive end. I wanted to have that guy that can also go get Conor Williams. You need a center. You need answers. You don't have answers. You've got a line of question marks. You got a line of 4 ifs, and if if was a fifth, they all playing like they drunk. I've seen enough of it. I get it. There's a lot of training camp left, Pat. There's still preseason to see, Pat. No, it's not. We've seen this. Why are we playing? Why are we joking? Why are we pretending? Don't lie to yourself. Believe what you see. You saw this last year. You saw this 2 years ago. You saw this 3 years ago. You saw this 4 years ago. Why are you lying to yourself? Why are you lying to yourself? You can pretend all you want that these guys are going to magically turn into the players that you want them to be. But at some point, you got to tell the truth. At some point, you got to look at the offensive line that's in front of your young quarterback and go, I don't think it's good. Because they're doing the same things as bad offensive lines that we've been watching our entire freaking lives. This isn't different. This isn't new. This isn't a change. And I'm not sitting here telling you that that Conor Williams isn't a risk. He's coming off of a bad knee injury. You're hoping that he can come back. He's not going to be available for most of training camp. That is a risk. But at least it's a risk for a dude who was playing at an all-pro level at center. And then if you get to your backup center, it's like, well, he's got the backup center in there. It's fine. At least if you're taking a risk on a dude who was one of the best in the game at his position. Because the risk you're taking right now is that Caleb Williams is going to be picking his teeth up off of the ground. If I got to spend money anywhere else this offseason, it's to go get Conor Williams. I'm sorry. I understand it. I get it. I get the risk, but I'm risking it for something that was great versus risking it for something that is, 1, unknown in Ryan Bates, and 2, mediocre in Coleman Shelton. I love it. Like it's in us as Bears fans. We always want to think the best of people. Once you become a Bear, I swear, it's like, you're my guy. We're going to get you there, brother. Don't worry about it. Like the video if you agree. You're my dude. You're going to turn into something that no other NFL coach has been able to turn you into in your entire NFL career. That's what happens when you come play for the Bears. It's not happening, guys. It's not happening. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, man. John commented in and said, Bears 18 different O-line combinations in the last 2 years. How many different O-line combos this season? I was going to say 18 in the last 2 years, my guy. We've seen 18 in training camp. We've seen 18 different combinations in training camp. What are you talking about the last 2 years, my guy? Conor could be another Nate Davis, constant injury and sucking up $10 million a year. Well, here's the difference between Conor and Nate Davis. One, Nate Davis, when on the field, has always kind of been this player. And the Bears took a chance on him, right? But he's always been this guy. He's being the exact same guy that they believed he was in Tennessee. Conor Williams, maybe he does become a little more injury prone, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm a big believer in paying injured big guys. But I think you've put yourself in a position where you really don't have a choice at this point. I don't think that big guys go out there and consistently get healthier once the injuries start piling up, but knee is a little bit different. Conor Williams, more times than not, has been one of the healthier guys, at least over the last 3 years, right? Played 16 games in Dallas, 17 games in Dallas, 17 games in Miami as the starting center. This season, he ended up playing 9 games. Last season, he ends up playing 9 games. So he's somebody who's kind of been able to be injured and bounce back from it. I understand the risk that's there, but the risk is I'm betting on a guy who, when he was healthy, was one of the best centers in the NFL versus a middle of the pack right guard. So yeah, I get it. It's a risk. It's absolutely a risk. But it's a risk worth taking because if that risk is in there, it is an answer. It's not if, right? With Nate Davis, it's multiple issues, right? With Tevin Jenkins when healthy is an answer, right? The if is he healthy? With Nate Davis, there's so many ifs on there. It's amazing he's sober. If he's healthy, if he blocks well, if he has good technique, maybe the quarterback doesn't die. You got layers of ifs on that one. And I'm not sitting here telling you that I feel like this is the greatest solution, going out and getting a guy like Conor Williams. But I do think that at least if you go out and get something of that ilk of player, you can get yourself back to the draft where then you feel like, okay, and I don't expect the Bears to go out and win the Super Bowl this year either. I expect their win total to go up, but I don't expect them to go out and win the Super Bowl. Fight your way into a playoff spot, get in the playoffs, try and do something. We'll see what ends up happening there. But get back to the draft. That's where you're going to address it. That's where you're going to finally be able to. This is the first season they're actually going to be able to address their needs. Or I guess more so, more specific needs. And you feel like you can address quite a few of them, right? Because you can go into the draft this year, not trade any of the picks, and you can have 3 players in your first 2 rounds, right? First round pick, multiple second round picks, and a third round pick maybe. You can address the line if you want to. Or you can package things, move up, and get 2 at a better line, right? Like you're not that far away, but I just love the people. I keep hearing this. Give me a second. I'm going to take a drink here. I keep hearing this. The Bears' offensive line was not that bad. Justin Fields just didn't let go of the ball. I keep hearing it. Well, Justin Fields ain't out here no more. We got a new quarterback. Very excited. Very ready to see him play. We got different questions. We just played our first preseason game. Are the questions different? Are there answers to the questions from last season? Is there any position on this team this year that you feel better about than what you had last year? Y'all tell me in the chat. Y'all tell me. Is there any position that you were worried about last season on this offensive line that you feel better about?